Yeah, Lee and Jess, this is about as safely as we can stand to this mill. Firefighters still here working on some hot spots. And come take a closer look above here at the steel. It is buckling, so badly damaged from this fire that fire officials say this building could collapse. Still a danger to the community 3 days after 3 children allegedly set it on fire. Firefighters still putting out hot spots at this massive mill fire in Sanford, Maine. At the same time, arson charges are filed against 3 juvenile boys.
It's just a sad day in the community.
A piece of history up in flames. Children charged with burning it down.
Some gentleman said he heard a pop and then it just went.
Fire investigators say it was 3 boys, 2 13 and 1 12 years old, who started the fire on the 3rd floor of this abandoned textile mill in downtown Sanford. It took seconds to spread.
It's scary to think that children are able to do something like that.
While the building was too dangerous to go inside and investigate, the state fire marshal was able to use a drone and security camera footage to study the fire patterns and follow leads.
We have arrested 3 juveniles.
Officials not releasing their names, but indicating the boys have been in trouble before.
In this case, I think these people thought they were used to doing some things, and I don't know whether they got away from them.
While there were no injuries in the fire, the building itself is still a danger. It's steel badly burned.
We've seen some bowing in some of the outside walls, which indicates it could come down and could come down at any time.
Now the town plans an expensive demolition as 3 boys head to court. The city of Sanford stopping to take in a dramatic scene of damage, grateful it wasn't worse.
I'm speechless, especially with the age of the 3 youths that did this. Why?
In Sanford, Maine. Now, the city does plan to put up some fencing around this area to keep people away from a potential building collapse. And the city manager also tells us that they're looking at demolition options that could, at the very least, cost the city about $500,000. Either way, this mill is not expected to be standing for much longer. I'm Danielle Wan, Sanford. Back to you.
Hey, Danielle, before we let you go, what do we know about the 3 kids who were arrested here?
Well, because of their age, we are not releasing their names. Our media partners at the Press-Herald are reporting that they made court appearances in Biddeford this morning, and they denied those arson charges against them. They're expected to be back in court next month. For now, they're at the Long Creek juvenile system in South Portland awaiting their next court appearance. We do know that they are all 3 residents of Sanford. Lee.
All right, thank you so much, Danielle. A lot of people we interviewed today were alarmed to hear that children may have started the fire, but officials say it really isn't uncommon.
A juvenile fire setter problem within the state of Maine as well as the country is still quite substantial. And it comes from a number of things of fascination of fire and a host of other things.
Yeah, and we see some evidence of that as well. Less than a month ago, a 15-year-old was arrested for setting a number of cars on fire in Skowhegan. And according to data from 2011, more than half of arson's arrestees nationwide were younger than 21 years old. The National Fire Prevention Association has done all kinds of research on juvenile fire setting, but there is still a lot that is not known.
With juveniles, it's often hard to tell if they intentionally set the fire or if they were playing and accidentally ignited a blaze. But NFPA says they do know of a few common motivators for juvenile fire setters, including curiosity, cries for help, juvenile delinquency, or even severe mental disturbance.
While investigators are handling the criminal case from the Sanford fire, many of the firefighters who battled this blaze are being recognized for their tireless service this weekend. And what a weekend it was. Sanford Fire Chief says 35 apparatus, which means trucks, ladders, engines, at the scene on Friday. 20 different communities were called in to assist, which brought the total firefighter number to more than 150 on hand. And they had to use more than 7 million gallons of water to control the fire.
We'll have a team coverage of the situation in Sanford, including details about the handling of abandoned buildings, coming up tonight on News Center at 6. Okay, so we've had another pretty nice day on piggybacking on a gorgeous weekend, so it seems like we're just on a roll. I love it.
Which is why we invited Keith to come back and tell us a little bit more, as long as it's good news, Casey.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It was a really gorgeous day today, and as just mentioned, the weekend turned out pretty good, 3/4 of it at least. 75 in Portland right now, 72 in Rockland. Some of these are the high temperature for the day as we got kind of a late high. So not hot, seasonable, and that's going to be a theme through much of this week. We don't have any big heat in the forecast, but we do keep us between 70 and 85 for the next week or so. West-northwest winds made for a nice beach day. You know how it is. You have to fight off the naturally occurring sea breeze. Water temperature still in the upper 50s, so that wants to flow on shore, and that northwest wind fights that inclination, if you will, off. A few puffy clouds out there, a few sprinkles earlier, but I don't think most of those are going to really get anywhere. As you can see, the state of Maine right now pretty clean. A few showers across parts of New Hampshire, but I don't think those will make it really into our neck of the woods until maybe late tonight, maybe a thunderstorm there. Tomorrow looks like more thunderstorms popping up. I think tomorrow is a juicier day. It's cold aloft in the atmosphere, so that could promote not only thunderstorms, but thunderstorms with the capability of producing some hail. So we'll be watching those through Tuesday afternoon. More shower chances, guys, through the week, but overall, a very appropriately summery forecast.
All right, time to take a look at some news now, and you're going to have to pay up for parking in Portland just in time for the holiday weekend. Starting July 1st, parking in Maine's biggest city will cost an extra 25 cents per hour. Some meters do accept credit cards, but many of the older meters still accept only change. The City of Portland's official Twitter account announced the new parking rates just a few days ago, but did not give out many other details.
Fairpoint Communications will pay less than half of what the Public Utilities Commission recommended for fines. Maine utility regulators and Fairpoint agreed on a $175,000 settlement because the landline service provided subpar coverage for the last few years. The Public Utilities Commission originally asked for $500,000 in fines, but under the settlement, Fairpoint will have to fund 3 infrastructure replacement projects to boost their service quality. This all comes as Fairpoint is in the process of being sold to a company based in the Midwest.
In honor of fallen officer Nathan Desjardins, first responders from several local departments hiked Mount Katahdin over the weekend. The York, Maine Police Department shared this picture on its Facebook page today. This group was one of several to hike the state's highest peak as part of the Cops on Top movement. The post says it's meant to remember their fallen brothers and sisters.
Now this kind of makes me feel a little bit old. Break out the birthday candles because the Harry Potter book series is marking 20 years today. See how Facebook is helping them celebrate. Plus,
lifeguards came off the jetty and started whistling at everyone and called the surfers in, and then they finally told us everything that was going on.
A shark sighting at Wells Beach, and experts say we might be seeing more fins in the water this summer. That story when we come back.
now here's something to make you feel old, which is not hard for you, Lee. The first Harry Potter book was released in the UK 20 years ago today. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, isn't it? It says Philosopher's Stone, but I don't know if that... I think it's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone was released in 1997, but it wasn't until almost a year later that the American version, oh, there it is, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, hit bookstores. Of course, the book series and the following movie series, amusement parks, live theater spin-offs, and so on, are now an unparalleled smash hit.
You okay over there?
I'm good.
Right,
I didn't know it was called the Philosopher's Stone first.
Well, that's what happens when you take a shot at me. So like any other made-up holiday, the 20th birthday of the Harry Potter series is exploding on social media. Facebook decided to go all in on the fun and integrating an interactive feature. Now, if you use the words Harry Potter Gryffindor, Gryffindor, or any other Hogwarts house name in a Facebook post, that must be a thing, the word will be highlighted and then linked. So if you click on it, it brings up a wand that shoots off sparks. Wow, why haven't I spent all day doing that?
I'm pretty sure I'm a Gryffindor house.
I agree. Or Hogwarts. It seems like every other year there is another sequel that you just didn't see coming.
You sure about this? Have I ever let you down?
All the time.
What? You're very unreliable. It's like one of the hallmarks of your personality.
Former Deering High School superstar and Maine's favorite a cappella singer will make another appearance as a Bard and Bella in the third installment of Pitch Perfect. Anna Kendrick, who is from Portland, is featured in the new trailer for the movie Pitch Perfect 3, scheduled to come out on Christmas. See, I've seen that. Well, the first two.
I love the first two, so looks like it'll be great. That's my pitch. Perfect. No, okay. Coming up on Now, a shark in the water at Wells Beach, but this isn't exactly Jaws 5. We'll talk to the experts to find out what kind of shark it may have been.
I don't even know what to say. Well, you know what? Keith's coming up. I'll tell you. A shark sighting sent beachgoers scrambling yesterday. It forced them to clear the water in Wells Beach.
I hit the beach today to hear from people who were around when it happened and to find out more about what type of shark could have been swimming in the area.
A relaxing day at the beach turned tense quickly.
The lifeguards came off the jetty and started whistling at everyone and called the surfers in, and then they finally told us everything that was going on.
The area was cleared as a precaution after a few people said they saw a shark near the Wells-Ogunquit line. The initial report came from a paddleboarder who said a shark swam by that was at least 12 feet long. Another person also saw a large creature in the water, but thought it was a basking shark like the one pictured here, which is big but has no teeth and eats plankton.
So this time of the year, we'd expect basking sharks to be around that close to shore. I don't think white sharks are going to be up here this early, but you never know.
Dr. James Sulikowski is a shark expert from the University of New England. He says white sharks sometimes venture into Maine waters and are all over the Cape Cod region just south of us.
We're starting to come into peak shark season.
Our partners at NBC Boston say the first white shark of the year arrived in the Cape area on June 2nd. Dr. Sulikowski says that Maine's cold water temperatures are not a deterrent for a white shark because it can control its own body temperature. He says he believes if a shark was seen here on Sunday, a basking shark is most likely the culprit, but beachgoers shouldn't be surprised if more white sharks are spotted in the future.
White sharks are going to be moving up here over the next couple of years, if not sooner, and we'll have a larger presence, mainly because there's a lot of seals around and their food source is increasing. So with the increasing food source, you're going to see more white sharks.
A notion that's not scaring off too many people. Wells Beach reopened Sunday afternoon and crowds packed the shore and played in the water on Monday.
We're still going to come and visit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll still come and visit.
Are we scared of sharks?
Not at all.
Not at all. No, we're going to be okay. We're back at the beach again today.
Dr. Sulikowski says he is working with Massachusetts Marine Fisheries to put up acoustic receivers out here in Maine in order to track when a white shark that has been tagged enters our waters. Now, osearch.org is another group tracking sharks and their movements. Their scientists have put tracking devices on numerous types of sharks, and you can see their progress as they make their way up and down the coast.
We know the chances of being bitten by a shark are extremely low, so here are a few things that are more likely to happen than a shark attack. For one, being hit by a comet or an asteroid, and when's the last time that you heard that happening? Getting struck by lightning, also more likely, and there's a higher probability of being dealt a royal flush. That would be nice.
Win money off one of those.
That would be nice.
But I don't care. Did you see that basking shark? Even if it doesn't have the teeth, if that came
It's
by.
all mental.
Exactly.
It's all mental. Yeah, it's not really a concern. I mean, people are texting and driving 3,000-pound vehicles around, and we're like, what if the shark gets us that came up from Massachusetts? Like, you'll be all right. There has been beach weather lately, though.
Beautiful.
But I'll tell you, the water is,
beautiful.
you know, it's Maine. Maine water.
Does it ever get above 60?
It's always Maine
Yeah,
water.
September is like
Really?
the time. It's 57 right now, but this is actually not too bad from what I recall. But yeah, I mean, it's cool out there in the water, but beautiful beach days. Temperatures in the 70s. Haven't had much of an onshore flow, which is always what you're fighting when you're thinking about going to the beach. Look at these dew points, super low, upper 40s, low 50s. That's something that makes everybody happy. We had a brief stretch of really humid weather. It came back for just a couple of hours over the weekend and then right back to dry air. It's unusual to stay this dry in the middle of summer, but I don't hear anyone complaining about it. That also limits to some degree your convection here because you don't have much moisture at the lower levels of the atmosphere. So all of this convection in the clouds has to be a little bit higher based. That's what it's been, and as a result, not much of it has hit the ground as far as showers go. A couple of them drifting through Vermont, may get through parts of New Hampshire as well. Western Maine, southern Maine, I wouldn't rule out a chance of a shower later on tonight, but I think for the vast majority of us, we're not going to have any problems tonight. We'll be partly cloudy to mostly clear. Little disturbances have been rotating through. The next one that comes in tomorrow has a little bit extra juice to it, so it kicks off, I think, a lot more showers and thunderstorms as compared to today. And also because it's going to be cold aloft, I think we have a chance for some hail. Basically, if it's cold aloft, it doesn't take as much vertical motion to get hailstones to form, and then they fall down. So we'll watch those tomorrow afternoon. A couple could be feisty. Another chance of showers on Wednesday, but very similar, I think, to today. And then Thursday's dry through most of the day before a warm front moves in Thursday night. Thursday night and through Friday morning, we could get a little bit more consistent, legitimate rain shower activity. So here's your hour-by-hour forecast. A stray shower tonight. Most of us are fine. We start with sunshine tomorrow, destabilize the atmosphere, get a couple of thunderstorms. Again, a few of those could be on the strong to severe side, and then we have a similar day to today on Wednesday with just scattered showers. So temperatures will be basically flat, right average, 76. We get above it on Friday and maybe Monday at 82, 83, but not by much. I don't do this very often, but I put chances of precipitation in there just because I think it might be confusing otherwise. Not all of these days are created equal. The best chance of showers will be tomorrow and again on Friday, and scattered showers are in the forecast on Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday, but they're not as likely there. The holiday weekend doesn't jump out at me at this point. I do think we'll see some showers. I think we have a split state forecast on Saturday with central and northern Maine seeing rain and southern Maine seeing the better day. But obviously we'll nail down those details as we get a bit closer, guys.
All right, Keith, thank you very much. Hey, it's a Monday afternoon version of the fifth quarter. Well, no, that's not what's happening. So over the weekend, UMaine softball player put a video up on the social media, and this thing just took off.
Yeah, Alyssa Derrick, she plays third base for the UMaine softball team. She tweeted a video at the Patriots to see if they needed another backup quarterback behind Tom Brady because he's turning 40 in August.
It's true.
And then Jimmy Garoppolo is always mentioned in trade rumors, so it might not be a bad idea after all. So it's not a bad idea either when you see the throw. She bombs it, what, is that 40 yards, you think, right there? So the tweet took off just like the football did, and I'm not really surprised. She's a Division I athlete after all. It caught the eye of ESPN as well. I talked to Alyssa today through a video chat since she's back at home in Rhode Island for the summer, and she was pretty surprised at how quickly that video was spread across the internet as well.
Exactly, that's what I don't get. I never understood why it was so surprising to people that I could throw a ball that far, because everyone at home knows I can throw a ball that far. People on my softball team know I can throw a ball that far. I just didn't think that it was something that a lot of people would blow up so quickly. I was so surprised when, I don't know, my brother called me when it was going viral, I guess, and I was so surprised because it's 2 months later, and I just wasn't expecting it at all.
Good catch at the end of that throw, too, and no one gave him any credit. So, as I said, ESPN ran with it. Forget the infield, let her play quarterback. She did a question and answer with ESPN right before she called me. That's why her phone called me. It was a little bit late, but
and I saw that the Bleacher Report said that she should go ahead. Oh, there you go. The Cleveland Browns are going to have a new quarterback. Hey, she threw it to someone who's actually on her own team, which is new for Cleveland.
Yeah, so 5-year, $150 million. It's not bad money. And then here comes the Bleacher Report when you're talking about the Jets. But she's a Patriots fan, so that's not going to happen.
She's better than everybody on the Jets' current roster.
Yeah. They couldn't afford her. And then, of course, Coach Harris Semiak, coach of the UMaine football team, said camp starts August 1st, and Alyssa said that she may or may not show up for the first day of camp. Just a mess there.
We'll keep an eye on it. All right, buddy. Thank you very much. Let's see what's coming up at 5:30, Jess.
I got to hit those weights because maybe I can do about 3 yards right now, but that's about it. Here's what's coming up on News Center at 5:30. A sense of place in a house of worship. How one group that spent years feeling left out is now finding faith. Plus, getting back in the saddle after a career change. We'll show you how one man did it and the lessons he learned along the way. That's when News Center at 5:30 returns.
All right, time for Brain Drops, where Keith will make friends and influence people.
Yes. Sponsored by Centrum today.
Come on.
We're talking about vitamins. There's going to be some vitamins you should take that we're going to get to in a second. All right. First, though, is something that they've known for a while. My mom's a nutritionist, and they've known for about 10 or 15 years that multivitamins are not positive for people. And the main reason is in a North American diet, you get all the vitamins that you need, for the most part. So these multivitamins actually have some negative consequences to them because they're overloading your body with some doses that are extremely high, right? It's in human nature to want to see 3,000% of vitamin A or whatever it is, but your body doesn't actually know what to do with that, process it. So in this study they did here, this is recently completed because it was a 25-year study, they actually found that women that took them died a little bit earlier than those who didn't, which obviously doesn't mean it's a direct correlation, but it's certainly not helping people either. So let's talk about the vitamin you should take, and this one I've heard from physicians and nutritionists alike, vitamin D. And I think particularly in Maine, where vitamin D is naturally derived from the sunshine, doesn't happen all the time. So this is one that most doctors will recommend is still a good thing, and it's something that you don't typically get in your diet. The thing they're still debating, though, is vitamin D derived from UV rays seems to last a little bit longer in your body and is a little bit more beneficial. The question, though, is risk-reward.
I was going to say, so now you're going to talk about sun cancer and all the things that come up from that. So
do you tell people, you know, skin cancer is still a big issue? Do you tell people to be in moderation with it, which they already are and sometimes get burnt? So I think they're going to stay away from that. But there is some research that maybe letting a little light in would help. But vitamin D is a good one there. And there's also a couple of other things. Vitamin C is a moneymaker, right? You get a cold, everybody takes vitamin C. This is another thing that has never been approved by the FDA and has never been any real research behind it. And actually, these megadoses of vitamin C lead to kidney stones, which I would argue is a whole lot worse than the cold. Zinc is the only thing that does seem to have some effect on colds, and that's where what's the one that they have? Zicam is one of them. There's a couple products like that that do something.
I'm on board for echinacea.
Yeah.
So,
oh, that's right. You were trying to get me on that, but I didn't get
echinacea?
to try it in time. It was already too late for me.
It's a miracle.
And try it.
Anyway.
To look into it. But anyways, multivitamins, I mean, the gummy ones taste good, but they're useless.
All right. News Center at 5:30 starts right now.